Okay, who in the world doesn't want everyone to come together as one? Stop arguing about racial issues and stop arguing about, this country versus that country and which one's better and what religion, it has the real answers for what humanity is facing and all the rest of those things. Who doesn't want the world to come together? I mean, I think one of the reasons why John Lennon's song Imagine had so much impact in its day was it caused people to think about what could bring us together so that we can start solving our problems instead of remaining in this condition that just is going to perpetuate problems no matter what we do. Until human beings come together, we're out of luck, basically, on solving our problems. The problem with human unity is not that people don't want it. People would love to have it, but everyone wants to have unity on the basis of their faith, their beliefs. I mean, the American faith says, hey, let's all table the idea of gods and all the rest of that stuff. It's fine in its proper realm, and it serves a good function in making a great society, but if we're going to come together to solve problems, we've got to do that apart from all this arguing over the gods. And of course, the people of the Bible, Christians, they have a different answer for that because they see that in Jesus, the whole world was meant to come back together and to be able to address the issues that we're facing. And if you're a Buddhist, you have the teachings of Buddha that are supposed to solve the problems. If you address things as a Hindu, then you're going to address it from the teachings of the Veda. And if you believe in, say, Islam, you're going to believe that it's the Quran that holds the answers to the troubles that humanity is facing today. And you could go on and on and on with all the different nations, getting rid of the gods altogether, as in some nations that have embraced more a secular and atheistic way of looking at things, means getting rid of the gods completely and embracing science and just sheer data as the means of finding our way out of the troubles that we're facing and all the rest of those things. I personally have studied and thought about this a lot. As an American, I grew up with a set of assumptions that meant, I automatically believed that America had the answers for what was going on in the world. And it seemed like we were proving that. We lived the good life. We had prosperity. We were doing things that other nations only dreamed of doing. And so I assumed that being an American was the way to solve our problems, to save us from this mess that we're in. Only problem is that every time I turned around and the older I've gotten, the more I see that we just keep tabling the solutions. It's right around the corner. The next election is going to be the big way that finally solves everything, or this next development, or this next, event's going to finally bring us together and solve all the world's problems and all the rest of that stuff. And all I see is just a perpetuation of we're progressing, we're making progress, and never arriving where we keep telling people, the real solutions lie. When I looked at the biblical story and understood how it was describing the world, I began to see that there was a whole different way of looking at the world and how to solve the world's problems. And I came to believe that the real answers lie in Jesus, not because he's got a better theory than everybody else, but because what he says addresses the world as it is and offers a world as it was meant to be, and it gets proved by his resurrection from the dead, which is a glimpse into that new world. a world where human beings can come together under the reign of God's true King, and that the answers for what humans are striving to solve are found in Him, and they're coming together to solve things on the basis of the story, that good news that's been told about Jesus and is now being seen, or at least it's supposed to be seen, in His church. That's the reason why the church needs to address and be open about the problems that we're really facing, instead of dividing off into little groups and pointing fingers and condemning each other and just adding to the confusion that's out there in the world. All of that only stifles the influence of Jesus as it was meant to, the kind of impact He was meant to have in solving the world's problems. So join me at this YouTube channel. Stifling Jesus is what it's called. Please subscribe, and let's engage in a conversation about how to bring people together and to solve what we're facing in the world today and even into the future. Thank you.